Protesters seethed on the streets of Istanbul over the weekend after a group of environmentalists were met with a heavy-handed police crackdown. What started out as a peaceful protest against the demolition of a park has evolved into a massive anti-government protest movement in Turkey. Thousands have taken to the streets against one common enemy, the Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Here are the 5 fast facts you need to know about the recent dissidents in Turkey. Protesters accuse the Prime Minister of being a fascist. The protests have targeted the government's increasing move towards a more authoritarian and Islamist policy. Although Erdogan has described his party as conservative democratic, some fear his conservative Islamic values are encroaching on Turkey's traditional secularism. Having said that, Erdogan has overseen an economic transformation in Turkey during his decade in power, turning its once crisis-prone economy into the fastest growing in Europe. Riot police have used heavy force. Protesters have decreed unprecedented violence from security forces who have unleashed tear gas and water cannons on protesters. International groups, including Amnesty International, have criticized the police response as excessive. Twitter, Tumblr, and other social media sites have flooded with photos of bloodied protesters and images of police brutality. Protests are widespread. Since Friday, there have been protests in 67 of Turkey's 81 provinces. The Turkish stock market has fallen over 10% as demonstrations escalate. According to CNN, thousands of people, including security forces, have been injured in clashes. 1 death has been reported. Erdogan admits security forces crossed the line. Erdogan conceded Saturday that Turkish security forces had made excessive use of tear gas against demonstrators. Having said that, Erdogan responded on Monday that demonstrations were the work of extreme elements. The movement is being called OccupyGezi. Many of the protesters have appropriated the rhetoric and style of the Occupy Wall Street movement. As of May 31st, #OccupyGezi has seen more than 600,000 mentions on Twitter. Although protesters have called for Erdogan to resign, Turkey is due to hold local and presidential elections within the next year, in which Erdogan is expected to stand. This has been 5 Fast Facts. Check out the article on heavy.com for more details and information.